Welcome to Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. We're America's podcast. All right, everybody, welcome back. This is part two. We handled part one last week when we talked about the TV and movie vehicles, and we actually had some feedback for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, I know. There was at least one person who was a little upset with us for not choosing Baby, the car from...
To be fair, I chose it. I just got outvoted.
Right.
Listen, sir, I don't even know what the fuck that was.
What was that? That was the show, the Supernatural show that neither of us that neither one of us has bothered to watch. So that's why it didn't get voted for. Maybe if Jeremy and I sat down and watched Supernatural, we would change our vote, and we'll have to redo the bracket in a couple years. But hey, it is what it is. It's a product. Yeah. It's a product of what it is. And I expect if you were that angry about what we did in the first episode, just wait until you do what we do here in the second episode. But
I tried.
I think he was also upset about Herbie.
I don't remember.
Well, I'm sorry I said I would piss on that car's face. I mean, feel bad now. Hey, look at you.
What do we got going on here?
Oh, wait, how do I do? I know,
you almost had it. I saw a screen.
I thought we were getting fancy on this podcast.
Oh, we are getting fancy.
I'm glad I wore my fancy pants.
How do I share?
I knew it.
I want okay. How about to save us from what we had happen last week when some of us had to just kind of guess based on what we thought. I actually took the time to do this. So our first bracket is the other bracket. This is all the stuff that doesn't fit necessarily into any one particular category. It's some of the more obscure vehicles. Some of them maybe aren't vehicles in a traditional sense. But this is the one. I don't know if this is the one that's going to make people mad, or the sci-fi vehicle one that's going to make people mad. But our first and the others is the TARDIS. That is the police box time travel device from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Doctor,
we all know what that corner is.
Doctor Who's phone booth.
Doctor Who's phone booth. The TARDIS, time and relative and something. Or the light cycle from Tron. This is one of the light cycles. They had a bunch of different kinds. I just thought this was one of the cool.
What are we looking
ones.
at?
Yeah, I got no pictures.
It just looks like the entrance to heaven.
I just got a white screen.
No, it's showing up on my screen. Can you see the Can you see the TARDIS?
Nothing.
I can't see shit, dog.
I got a white screen.
Okay, it's showing up on my screen
with a small blue line in the top.
Dang
Jeremy,
it.
you got the blue line?
There is a small blue line.
But nothing is showing up on your screen?
Nothing.
Oh, come on.
I know what those two things look like.
This is so annoying because I spent a lot of time going through and downloading pictures and putting them in a file. All right, I guess I'm going to have... how... Okay, let's try this then. Hold on. Let's try this again.
Love it when a good plan comes together.
Okay, all right. Let's try...
Hey, I see my friends. And Nicholas.
Okay, how about now? Can you
see?
There
you go.
I see other vehicles.
Okay. If I open other vehicles, now do you see a TARDIS?
I still see
No.
I still see the PDF.
Okay, all right, so let's try this then. Hold on. No, okay, that's fine. I don't want to, let's try this. How about now?
There you go.
Ha ha ha! Finally! Old man figures out technology. Okay.
I see police box.
All right, that is the TARDIS. Okay. I'm not going to edit all of that out. I'm going to edit some of it, but I'm going to make myself look stupid because that's what I do. I don't know how to use technology, even though I've been doing this podcast for how many years now. All right,
Okay.
so TARDIS from Doctor Who, the police box, or the light cycle from Tron.
Light cycle from on.
Yeah, that specific light cycle from Tron.
Any light cycle from Tron. I just happened to pick that as one of the images because I thought it was cool.
The original light cycles from Tron were ass. That one is cool.
I mean, because you've got Tron, you got Tron Legacy, you got Tron Uprising, you got the Tron that. This was just one of the better pictures of the actual light cycle that I could find. They had a bunch of pictures of light cycle toys, which weren't what I was looking for. I mean, the original one was made in like 1984 or 85. So, I mean, you have to remember that. This is probably from Tron Legacy, the sequel. So who are we going with? I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. So I'm going to go with the TARDIS.
Okay.
Because I would love to travel through time. As cool as the light cycle is, I mean, you know.
As cool as it is, it's moving on because it's the light cycle.
Okay, well that's well, Jeremy hasn't voted yet.
Oh, you must have missed the first part when I voted for the light cycle.
Oh, wow.
Instantly when it popped up, he was like light cycle.
Okay, all right.
I do think the TARDIS might be more of an iconic thing with all the seasons and everything of Doctor Who. But personal preference, I like the light cycle.
Okay. All right, now we are on to the hoverboard from Back to the Future.
Okay.
Self-time.
In case anyone didn't know.
Or
pretty sure there's a picture of me riding the hoverboard from Back to the Future somewhere.
How is that a fucking vehicle?
Or the house from Up.
Oh my God.
How is it? It flew. It moved.
Wouldn't you want your vehicle to have like indoor plumbing?
I mean, it's the best vehicle out there, right?
I guess.
You got your comfortable bed, your TV, everything's right there. Like,
yeah, but it's not. How can you use your TV if you're flying? You have no electricity.
Portable generator? I don't know.
Solar panels on the roof.
All right. Well,
okay.
I mean,
clever.
But so I mean, but you get to vote for whatever you want. You want the hoverboard from Back to the Future, 2, or the house from Up,
or Carl's house.
I'm gonna go hoverboard.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick the house.
I'm going hoverboard.
I'm okay with that.
Smells like shit.
It's an old man. It smells like Ben Gay and Old Spice.
Yeah, you want to pilot that for weeks on end?
Absolutely.
All right.
I'd be by myself and I could sleep in my own bed.
All right. Now we have the Shaggin' Wagon from Dumb and Dumber.
Mutts cuts.
Or Micro Machines.
Love it.
Nice.
Micro Machines. Right. That was one of my favorite play sets growing up.
Oh, absolutely. I love the micros. I don't know how many of them I had, but I had a lot of them. Which probably means they're in a box somewhere down here in my basement. I just haven't opened it yet. So is that what's moving on then?
I think I'm going to go. As much as I like the mud cuts, especially when they lift the leg to put the gas in, I got to go with the Micro Machines.
All right, Micro Machines. All right, now we have the Hot Wheels versus the Warthog from Halo.
Ooh.
Remember the Hot Wheels that you could that would change colors?
Oh, there are so many different Hot Wheels. I mean, I've had Hot Wheels my entire life, basically. You know, various different. I don't know if I had any of these particular Hot Wheels, but I mean, I used to have like boxes of Hot Wheels, like kind of like I had boxes of Micro Machines. I've really enjoyed the new Hot Wheels video games. Both of them have been really good.
Mm-hmm. I think though I'm going to have to vote for the Puma. Red versus blue reference.
Oh. Or then you've got the war.
Yeah.
I don't. But...
It's like a Puma.
I smell what you're stepping in.
Or the Warthog from Halo, which is a game that I never really played. So I'm voting Hot Wheels.
Well, sorry, Hot Wheels.
Oh, okay. So Halo is moving on.
Even just thinking about playing Halo, like you have the buddies over, you got the LAN party.
Yeah, it really had an impact in my life.
Instead of just sitting by yourself playing with Matchbox cars, Nicholas.
That's fun too.
I did that a lot too. The tracks and the
I had the tracks. I had friends. We had tracks. We had races. You know, like I wasn't just sitting around playing by myself. That was later in life.
That was with yourself.
All right, now we're on to Voltron.
Okay.
Or the Transformers.
Did you just purposely guess each other, or was that random?
It was sort of random. I did not really intentionally put anything in order in the way that it happened.
Okay.
So,
Transformers.
Transformers is so vast.
I mean, so you got the 5, the 5 from Voltron.
Yeah.
Or the hundreds from the Transformers.
Yeah. Geez, I wonder what's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of both of them as a kid. I had way more Transformers action figures. I've thoroughly enjoyed most of the Transformer movies. I mean, the last handful haven't been very good, but the first couple were pretty fun.
I only saw the first one.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna probably make a lot of people mad, but I'm numbers guy.
But I mean,
I don't know.
When it comes to the Transformers, though, for me, it's still all about the '80s cartoon and the '80s toys.
Yeah.
That takes me back. That nostalgia gene gets hit pretty hard with that.
Sure.
Voltron, I never really had any of the Voltron toys, but you remember the Panini sticker books?
Yep.
I remember having one of those for Voltron and just going out of my way to find the Voltron stickers to fill out that book and just watching the cartoon.
Yeah. I wish I could get warm and fuzzy about
either of them.
I just don't. These do nothing. They look cool.
All right. Well, you can't get warm and fuzzy, but you do have to vote. So
okay. Transformers.
Yeah, robots in your eyes.
Okay, Transformers it is. All right. I think I am going to hit a bit of a nostalgia button for you here, though, because I seem to remember one or both of you talking about this franchise, the Magic School Bus.
Oh, yeah, that gets me wet.
Or the Wienermobile.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah, that gets me soaking wet. Food on wheels? Are you kidding me?
I like the little one with the little Lynx license plate.
That's adorable.
It does have a Wisconsin license plate on it too. I did not even notice that when I was putting the picture together. But so Magic School Bus, which I know Jeremy has spoken fondly of many, many times.
Mm-hmm. Who hasn't?
Or the Wienermobile.
Yeah, that's tough. But I like the Wienermobile.
Oh. I'm going to vote for the Magic School Bus because I just looked up the Wienermobile's origin in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, I'm going to vote for the Magic School Bus.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The one has the Wisconsin's plate, which I was like, all right.
I
seen the origin is
Chicago. I'm still voting Wienermobile, but it seems that the Magic School Bus is won and moving on.
Thanks for saving us, Justin.
What would you guys think is the top speed of the Wienermobile?
Oh, like 40?
According to New York Times.
69.
Nice.
Yeah, like 40.
110.
Wow.
What about the little one?
I don't know. It's a Mini Cooper. It's probably about the same. I think it's a Mini Cooper.
It looks like it, yeah.
And then you got the Wiener whistle.
I have my old Matchbox of the Oscar model, or it might have been a Hot Wheels. I can't remember what it was.
It's really hard to remember the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Didn't the Wienermobile go to the Walmart in McGuanago once?
Yeah, like earlier in the year, like right after the grand reopening after the remodel.
Oh, so it's been like a couple times.
It's been there a couple times, yeah. There's a schedule.
There's
a schedule online where you can look to see where the Wienermobile is going to be.
Okay. But because it came from out of Chicago, you're voting against it.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're loyal, man.
Yeah.
All right. Now we are going to vote for Bigfoot the Monster Truck.
Nice.
Or a Magic Carpet.
Wow.
It's not my favorite monster truck, but it's got my vote.
It could be any Magic Carpet you want it to be. This is just one of the few actual pictures of a Magic Carpet I could find. Because most of the ones from Aladdin weren't of the Magic Carpet flying. And I was like, but I need it flying. So I found this picture of a guy on a Magic Carpet flying. Or Bigfoot the Monster Truck.
The original monster truck, it says. It's not my favorite monster truck, but like I said, I'm still voting Bigfoot.
What about Magic Carpet? It's classy.
I mean, I think I'm going to vote Bigfoot as well. I mean, I do love a monster truck. And as much as I don't believe in Bigfoot, it is fun to talk about Bigfoot. So,
How do you
yeah.
not believe in Bigfoot? There's a picture of it right there.
Well, not that Bigfoot. I'm talking about the actual, you know,
Oh, the actual one.
the Sasquatch.
The real, other real one?
Yeah, the actual one, not the trunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Bigfoot's moving on then?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right then. Now we're gonna go to
Is that the only monster truck making an appearance?
yes.
What? You skipped Gravedigger?
Well, I couldn't put like we just end up doing a monster truck bracket.
Yeah, the Macho Man one.
All right,
Hogan
you know, I tell you
has
what,
his
you now have the option to make yourself a monster truck bracket.
El Toro.
Get the yeah, right. There's so many.
All right,
I love that picture of that red carpet guy though. It's soothing.
all right. So the
Why
next
does it
one
look like
is
he's standing on an American flag?
because it's some of
Get the
these
fuck
pictures
off that,
got
you commie.
it's definitely not an American flag, but the pictures somehow got some of them got pretty distorted when I put them into the
Yeah, blame it on that.
listen, I barely figured out how to do this. All right.
I'm so proud of you.
All right, now we're to the Flintmobile, the Flintstones car, or the phone booth from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, or the Bill and Ted franchise.
That's a good one. Sorry, Flintstone Mobile. I'm gonna have to vote for that other one.
I'm going for the Flintstone Mobile.
Well, I couldn't get the other phone booth through, so I will get this one through.
You wanted a phone booth off, didn't you?
Yes.
Apparently I did, but I put them. I somehow accidentally put them 1 and 2, so there was no way for them to go through unless it hit the final 4. But Bill and Ted. All right. So now we're at the light cycle versus the hoverboard.
I'm going to take the hoverboard this time.
Hoverboard.
All right, hoverboard it is. I'm also going.
Weren't those supposed to come out like last year or this year?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we were also supposed to get those self-lacing shoes, and that didn't happen. So
I have a different hoverboard. Didn't go well for me.
Are there any hilarious videos of you falling over or running into a Christmas tree?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
I allowed no recordings.
that's unfortunate. All right. Micro Machines or the Warthog from Halo?
My childhood teens.
All right. Remember the Micro Machines, also your childhood, but also heavily featured in Home Alone as a weapon against Harv and Harry.
That's true.
Did you just say Harv?
I meant Marv. I tried to combine the two names together.
Harv and Mary. I'm going the Warthog.
All right. I'm going Micro Machines.
I guess I will vote for Micro Machines.
Oh, wow. That's not how I thought it was going to.
I didn't either. But at the last second, I spit out a different word.
All right. Transformers or the Magic Carpet?
The Magic Carpet didn't move on.
How dare
What are you doing here?
I'm sorry. You're right. The Magic
Wow.
School. I wrote Magic down instead of Magic School Bus.
Wow.
And I messed up. Okay. And good thing somebody's paying attention. All right. Transformers or the Magic School Bus?
I'm going for the Frizzlemobile
Oh, yeah.
and the Magic School Bus.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm going to vote Transformers, but it looks like I just got outvoted.
Yep.
You could shrink down and then
Just
they go
to
on
be
all
a
these
troll.
cool adventures and they go in space.
All right, I'm going to add some extra letters there next time so that I don't mess that up. Bigfoot the Monster Truck or Bill and Ted's Phone Booth?
Bill and Ted's phone booth.
Is getting run over by the monster truck.
Get the fuck out of here.
But because it's a time machine, it moved before Bigfoot got there and put itself right into the next round.
Yeah.
I loved going to the monster trucks every year.
I've never actually been to the monster trucks. I have watched it on TV a little bit, but
Oh, it's better in person, like hockey.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe one of these years we'll take a field trip to the monster trucks. All right.
They'll be the oldest guys there.
I'm going to guess we won't. I'm really going to guess we won't be the oldest people there.
We should do interviews.
Hell yeah. See if we can get down there.
Yeah, we may. We'll have to try. All right.
Press badges.
We should get press badges.
We'll just print them ourselves and try to walk down.
Just as it
I
looked
can't
like
imagine the
Sharpie.
security. I can't imagine security out of the monster truck rallies is that heavy, but I
They're
could be
called
wrong.
they're called Monster Jams.
Okay. Wow. All right. Learning something new every day. All right. Would you rather have the hoverboard from Back to the Future or a bunch of micro machines your dad stepped on and yelled at you because you left them on the ground?
uh, Hoverboard.
Hoverboard.
All right. Hoverboard it is.
Clean sweep?
Clean sweep. All right. The Magic School Bus or Bill and Ted's phone booth.
Essentially, they kind of do similar things. One of them just goes back in time. One of them is a fantastical shrink down. And is that really all it does is shrink down?
No, they go to space.
Is that I never watched the Magic School Bus, so I don't really know what it does.
It gets my vote. That's what it does.
Does it travel through time or does it just go around?
I think it stays present.
Yeah,
Okay.
it goes to like space and stuff. Turns into a spaceship and it can shrink down. But I don't ever remember going in time.
Went in someone's body.
Did?
It went.
Okay.
It went all sorts of places.
Wasn't that Arnold's?
Yep, because he was sick, right?
Yeah, should have stayed home today.
Yep.
I did that movie Freddy's Flashback Inner Space where Dennis Quaid shrunk down and went in Martin Short's body.
That sounds like a fun adventure.
She turns the school bus into a time machine to travel back to the age of dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
So all right. So which one would you rather hang out in? The Magic School Bus with Miss Frizzle, right?
Miss Frizzle.
Or hang out in the phone booth with Bill and Ted?
Probably be less of an issue just hanging out with Bill and Ted instead of like a bunch of children.
I personally am going to vote for Bill and Ted. Are
I'm
you
a little-
sticking with Magic
sticking
School?
with it. No, I'm sticking with the phone booth.
Sticking with the phone booth? And Justin, you went
School bus.
school bus. All right. Oh, too bad. Bill and Ted moving on.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
You have those comfortable seats. You're not all crammed into a small box.
Sorry, Justin.
Wild Stallions. Well, speaking of the Wild Stallions, do you want Bill and Ted's phone booth or the hoverboard?
I still want the hoverboard.
Both time travel related, but one of them is traveling through time. The other is just doing cool skateboarding trick. Oh, wow. The hoverboard just won. I was going to vote Bill and Ted, so it wasn't a clean sweep, but hoverboard did win. All right. So as you can see, that was the other bracket. That was a bunch of just random things that weren't necessarily going to fit into any other one category.
Yeah. Why didn't you put the Power Rangers on there?
They're not really vehicles.
They all combine into one.
Listen, I capped it at 16. There's a lot of vehicles that got left off.
I was just thinking. I was like, you have what Voltron in there? Should have the Power Rangers.
All right. So let's now we're going to do the other bracket. Let's see if I have to change things. Can you see the new screen?
I see phone booth.
Okay, so try. All right, let's do. I figured it out last time. I can figure it out this time.
Is that lemon lime bubbly?
Mm-hmm. Perfect flavor of this.
Have you had
For me.
Have you had the lemon lime prime?
No.
It's not bad.
All right. Pay us, Prime.
Ah,
All right. Can you see the Starship Enterprise?
Yes,
I
sir.
see a ship.
Okay. All right. This one is the sci-fi vehicle bracket. This is going to be interesting. I tried to cap it at certain numbers for individual franchises because I think one franchise in particular could have had its entirely own bracket.
Like monster trucks.
Like monster trucks. So maybe we'll come back to it and do just a Star Wars vehicle bracket or a monster truck bracket, or the one we're starting with here, Star Trek, maybe could have its own bracket.
I don't think that'd be a very good bracket, as I've never watched Star Trek.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Same.
That's all right. So with the sci-fi vehicles, like I said, I had to cap it and get, creative. Not as creative as I had to get on the other bracket, but I think the main complaint we're going to get out of this one is what I left off rather than what I didn't. And it got left off because I didn't think of it, or I thought of it later and I'd already made a 16 bracket and I wasn't about to throw the numbers off. So
Isn't the TARDIS part of sci-fi?
see, that was the other thing. Some of the ones that got put on others, like the Shaggin' Wagon, or could have been on the movie bracket. The Flintstone Mobile could have been in the TV bracket. Yeah. Gotcha. I mean, technically, like the TARDIS could have been on Sci-Fi or on TV. Like it was the way it happened when I made the bracket. If you don't like it, make your own bracket. And then send it to us and we'll do it. All right. So for the Sci-Fi vehicle bracket, the first matchup is the USS Enterprise with good old, this particular one is Captain Kirk. They just kept renaming it for a bunch of the other ones.
Is that Shatner?
That is Shatner, yes.
Okay.
This is the one that Shatner was in charge of, or...
Anticipation.
Yeah.
You were doing so well.
Here we go.
Oh.
The City Destroyer from Independence Day.
You know, I feel like did Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum fly it?
They flew into it.
Oh, that's an old picture. Didn't they fly one? Or did they fly a different ship?
They flew a little ship into the City Destroyer and then managed to somehow explode one.
Now, this picture is post 2001 or pre 2001.
Yes, it is. I did not see that when I was picking pictures. I was just picking it based on the fact that it was showing a City Destroyer over a city. So which one are we going to go with? We're going to go with the not looking at the picture, looking at the Enterprise or the City Destroyer.
I think I'm going to go with the Enterprise. Like, if you show someone these two pictures, they're going to know the Enterprise is Star Trek. They're not going to know this is Independence Day.
Yeah, people are going to go, what the hell is that? What am I looking at?
Okay. Some of the pictures are not necessarily the best representation of the vehicle.
It's fine.
Okay, but we're voting Enterprise.
Probably. I've never seen it, but I'm still getting
okay, I guess so.
Probably one of the more iconic vehicles in sci-fi anyway, so
it calms me down.
I can't wait to see the rest of your picture choices.
Oh, man, it's going to be fun. All right. The next one we have the Nebuchadnezzar from the Matrix series. Or
a bunch of ring lights on.
They look like a bunch of Roombas.
Oh, or Eagle 5 from Spaceballs.
It's the Winnebago.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I kind of figured I know how this bracket's going to go, but when I did the pictures, I was like, yeah, I think I know how this one's getting voted on.
No Lone Star Barf in the picture, though.
The Nostromo from the Alien franchise. Or Planet Express.
Oh, two good ones.
I love you.
I'm going Planet Express.
Yeah.
I'll vote for that.
Either way, Jeremy, it seems like you're not going to be mad.
Yep.
All right. Now we have the Klingon Bird of Prey or the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
I don't feel like this bracket's easier.
It might be easier now, but just wait as we go along.
It's the DeLorean.
Definitely.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be a clean sweep.
I would like to own a DeLorean.
I would too.
If anyone has any for sale that are reasonably cheap.
If I had a DeLorean, I would immediately at least put a flux capacitor in it. I mean, obviously it wouldn't work, but I'd still put one in there. All right. Now we have the helicarrier from from various different Marvel films, or the Death Star.
Ooh, sensual. It's very sensual.
How is the Death Star? I'm afraid of asking this question
because it's like smooth. It's got like that little divot. I don't know. It's like turns me on.
Okay, then.
With that information, I'm going for the Death Star.
I
think we just learned some very weird information about Jeremy.
That's a hot looking ship. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
All right, so
the dome is sexy. There's something really sexy about a dome. I could go on for hours about the sexiness about a dome.
Okay. So basically what I'm hearing, though, is that the Death Star is beating the helicarrier.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, all right. So Death Star's moving on. I think I would have voted for the Death Star as well, but not because I find it sexually attractive.
Okay, weirdo.
All right. Serenity from Firefly.
Serenity now.
Or Slave One from the Star Wars franchise.
Whoa. Boba Fett's Starship.
I will only ever refer to it as its actual name.
Fuck yeah, you're right. Slave One, motherfucker.
Slave One is beating. Okay.
Probably my favorite character from Star Wars is Boba Fett.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. And like I said, Star Wars probably could have had its own bracket, and I really tried to limit it, but I couldn't come up with any other way. The X-Wing versus the Milano from Guardians of the Galaxy franchise.
That's a nice ship.
This is a nice ship.
I like the colors.
Yeah. Doesn't the inside look like a Jackson Pollock? Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right.
Let me see the thing again.
All right, here's the X-Wing.
Oh, okay. That's a nice ship too.
It does have a dome right in this vicinity and some circular things right here.
R2D dome.
But there's too much else going on. It's too pointy.
But the Milano here does have some curves.
Yeah.
And it's just slick.
I like that one. I'm going to go for that too.
Yeah. I'm also going to go for the Milano so that it's not just a clean sweep for Star Wars.
Do we have a TIE fighter in here?
No, we do not. Like I said, we could have done just a Star Wars vehicle bracket, but
I mean, I have a TIE fighter in my basement.
But just to keep rolling with the theme, the Razor Crest from the Mandalorian.
What noise does that make?
Or the Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon. That's the Star Wars ship.
That has to move on.
Okay. All right. So we're going back all the way up here to the Starship Enterprise or Eagle 5 from Spaceballs.
Eagle 5.
Eagle 5.
All right. Now we're going to go Planet Express ship or the DeLorean.
Oh.
See, I told you it was going to get a little harder.
That's what I said when I saw that ship.
I love Futurama. I have watched Futurama multiple times. Not necessarily like the newer seasons, but I have seen every Futurama episode. But I love Back to the Future, and I love the DeLorean. Like you said, if I could get a DeLorean, like if I had extra money to have a car that I wouldn't drive very often, this would be the car. So I think I'm going to go DeLorean.
Okay. DeLorean.
Futurama's good, but man, the DeLorean, iconic.
Yeah. All right.
Do you have the DeLorean out of Legos?
I do, yes.
Nice.
I don't know where it is currently, but I do have them.
All right.
All right. Now we have the Death Star, the ship that turns Jeremy on for some reason, or Slave One.
Damn.
I'm going Slave One. I am a huge Boba Fett fan. That spaceship is just iconic and it's cool. Boba Fett is just like one of the original movie badasses.
Yeah, I would have to still vote for that other ship just because I can't help myself. Plus, I know that Justin's probably going to vote thing too.
What other thing?
Slave One.
I mean, Boba Fett's my favorite character.
So I can just happily throw this vote in the garbage. I feel on nonsense.
I don't know. The Death Star's iconic. More people know the Death Star compared to the Slave One.
That is true.
Yeah.
The Death Star could blow up entire planets. Slave One just makes your day very bad.
The Death Star had a really stupid button, that bad design flaw.
I'm going to go with the Death Star. It's just more iconic.
Wow.
I really thought you were going to, sure.
And Tony has it out of Legos.
That is true. He does. And it's a very large Lego set.
Keep me away from that.
Oh, God.
All right. Now
Plus, this way I can listen to Jeremy talk more about it in a sensual manner.
I don't know how much I have left in me.
This is not the way I thought this bracket was going to go.
I should have based on the sexiness for all the ships previously, Ellie.
Well, that's how we voted for a lot of the other in some of the other brackets we did, but but that was on people. All right, so now we have the Milano or the Millennium Falcon. I mean, Millennium Falcon, right?
Yeah,
Falcon.
All right, so Millennium Falcon or the ship that it destroyed, the Death Star.
Oh no.
The Millennium Falcon didn't destroy the Death Star.
It was trailing Luke Skywalker's X-wing and was one of the main reasons why he was able to take the shot down the port. Because, he used to shoot womp rats out in Dagobah Pass, or when he went to Dagobah to train with Yoda. Fuck if I remember. There's a lot of really weird space words that Luke used.
Millennium Falcon gets my vote.
That's
I'm going Millennium Falcon. Not necessarily because I don't want to keep hearing Jeremy talk about how hard the Death Star makes him, but I just think the Falcon is more iconic. All right. This is the battle. Sure. This is going to be the battle of what franchise do we like more? The DeLorean, Back to the Future, or Eagle 5 from Spaceballs?
The DeLorean's cooler, but I love Spaceballs.
But so what are you voting for?
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. Okay. I'm voting DeLorean. The DeLorean to me is one of the most iconic vehicles of all time. As much as I love Spaceballs and probably quote it way more than I quote Back to the Future, the DeLorean is just.
Look at that Winnebago, though.
Classic. Yeah, I mean, if I'm being real here, the DeLorean definitely has to win. I'm sorry, Justin.
Hey, this made it to third.
All right, so for our final matchup, we have either the DeLorean.
We know what it looks like.
Okay. Or the Millennium Falcon.
But you could go back to that other image if you want, just for a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, but we're voting on either the DeLorean or the Millennium Falcon. So I guess the question is, when you think sci-fi vehicles, what's one of the first images that comes to your head? Like, are you going Millennium Falcon, the classic Star Wars, the vehicle from most of the Star Wars movies, or the DeLorean from the Back to the Future franchise?
Where's the Jetsons car?
It's on the bracket we haven't done yet. I had to cut. You know what? I probably should have included that somewhere rather than putting like 5 Star Wars vehicles on a.
And no TIE fighter. I'm going Millennium Falcon. Trying to think, if you just showed it to people, what would they? I don't think anyone would know what either of those are. Bunch of commoners.
I feel like the Millennium Falcon is one of those that like even people who don't like Star Wars would know.
Yeah.
As much as I want to vote for the DeLorean because I do love it, so I feel like the Millennium Falcon is the more iconic sci-fi vehicle.
I think that'd be my vote.
All right. So the Millennium Falcon has won. Which now raises the question of, we now have the hoverboard from Back to the Future, the Millennium Falcon from many, many Star Wars movies, the 89 Batmobile.
I forgot about.
Or the Mystery Machine.
Nice choices.
So those are the final, I guess the final 4.
I'm pretty sure you could just fit all of those into the Millennium Falcon and just keep them all. I'm sure that thing's got a cargo bay you could fit a couple cars in.
Yeah, you know what? You're probably not wrong because you're just fitting a van and a Batmobile in the Millennium Falcon.
You could fit the hoverboard in the van.
That is true. You could. It really maximized the space.
Yeah.
But when you think iconic vehicles in general, which of those 4 do you think is the most?
The most Batmobile.
I don't think you're wrong. I
think I would go Batmobile, Mystery Machine, Millennium Falcon, hoverboard.
I put Mystery Machine 3rd, Millennium Falcon.
I think I'd go with depending on what Jeremy's about to put first.
Well, same order as Justin.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I switched was those 2 things.
Yeah, I think I would too. I think I'd go with the way that Jeremy just had it. Now, all right. So there we have it. We did just a whole Batmobile bracket. And that Batmobile won. And now we've done 4 brackets, and that Batmobile won again. So definitively, we have decided that the 89 Batmobile is the coolest, most iconic pop culture vehicle.
Yes.
That is the pop culture stamp that we have given it. And those of you who want to argue, well, you know where our Facebook page is. You know where our Instagram feed is. Hit us up. Tell us why we're wrong. Or, in certain cases, tell us why you know we're right.
Just rank your 1 through 4. Let us know.
You could just tell us something nice.
Yeah.
I've been having a rough couple weeks.
Oh no!
All right.
Just be nice to me.
Do we need to go get ice cream?
Yeah.
Okay,
But I am sorry about saying I would piss on that car. I mean,
I don't think anybody was mad about that, though.
well, good.
Well, if they were, they didn't comment on it. If you're mad, comment on it. Tell us why.
I just felt that was like overly aggressive because I mean, I love all those pop culture cars. I embrace them all.
All right. Well, all right. So quick reaction. Like, other than the Jetsons vehicle that you brought up, what did I miss? Like, what would you have included that I didn't?
I had more thoughts from the last one, but I should have wrote them down because I can't remember.
Because I mean, there's a probably more than enough for us to do more vehicles in the future if you can come up with enough, and we need to fill time because I'm sure we will.
Well, there's like vehicles from Mad Max. There's Willy Wonka's shitty, fantastical.
Yeah.
I did leave Mad Max off. Oh yeah, I meant to put it. I tried to put it on there somewhere, but I ended up leaving it off. I also left Chitty Chitty Bang Bang off.
Oh yeah,
it was on the list, but then I was like, I'm gonna put the Flintstones Mobile on instead. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we said Star Wars could have its own bracket. Star Trek maybe could have its own bracket. The monster trucks in general. James Bond could probably have his own bracket.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Fast and Furious, if we can ever get Justin to watch those movies.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, if we did a group watch party of all the movies, we could.
Oh, what about Mary Poppins Umbrella?
You know what? I don't know why I didn't include that one, but I didn't.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I mean, heck, Marvel probably could have gotten more than it did. It only got 2, so there's a lot on the sci-fi that I left out or I couldn't figure out how to include, or I just chose not to. So
that's fair.
All right. Anybody watch anything this week?
Oh, I've just been watching. What did I start? Oh, I started watching Young Sheldon. I see a lot of clips of it, and I was like, I'll give this show a chance.
I tried to watch the first couple episodes when it started way long time ago, and I just couldn't get into it. Is it something that I should give another shot to?
Yeah, maybe. Especially now that I think it's all on Netflix.
Okay.
So it's just put it on and let it go instead of, that's the problem I have. When I start something and I got to wait a week, I lose interest.
Or you just watch the first episode in general.
What you smirking for? Yeah, that's true. I do that.
Just cracking myself up here.
All right. It's fair.
I went and saw Inside Out 2 yesterday.
How's that?
Interesting. I mean, they found a way to crack. I mean, well, Pixar does really good work in general. Like, it's really hard to find a bad Pixar movie.
Cars 3?
Well, I mean, Cars 2 and 3 are definitely towards the bottom of the list. And I know I'm going to get crucified for this, but WALL-E, I thought, was a bad.
Hey, now. Choose your words carefully.
But, I mean, they found a way to crack the code on, like, dealing with emotions from a young person's perspective, like she's supposed to be like 13, 14, but just dealing with the idea of like, not all emotions are bad, and sometimes even bad emotions you can use for good. Like, just, kind of just toying with what's going on in your head when, you've got the different sides of you fighting. And it's interesting. I mean, I'm sure it's much. Jess and I went and saw it yesterday, and the crowd was, there was a lot of young kids in the theater because, I mean, it is an animated movie. I feel like the message of the movie was lost on a lot of the young kids because, they are too young to quite understand it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's every bit as good as the first one was. It's worth a watch. It's interesting.
All right.
Well, I don't know. Did I talk about Inmate to Roommate already?
No.
Okay. I've been watching that on A&E.
What? What is that?
This family takes in an inmate, and they just live with them, and they see how it goes. Spoilers, it usually doesn't go well.
I don't know if that's really a spoiler.
Is this like every episode's a different inmate with a different family?
They sort of like blend them on each episode. So there's like, I think there's probably close to like 8 to 10 maybe that we watch throughout the whole series. They're actually still introducing new more. So I don't know how many there's going to be total, but you get kind of invested. Some of them, there was actually, they had a season of this before and it was better actually because the people were better characters. I feel like I talked about this already.
Not down
This
here.
is sounding so familiar. Okay.
I mean, if you did, it was a long time ago. So
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's actually just one of those reality garbage shows that you just can binge watch. But unfortunately, I'm having a hard time binge watching it because Spectrum's being a bunch of bastards. They're on demand, so horrible. They do that shitty thing where they're like, you can't fast forward, but then you stop it and then you wait for later to come back to it, and then the fucking thing disappears. So it's like, well, God, guys, why do you even have this? Like this whole service just is useless.
I'm so glad I left Spectrum.
Season 1 has 10 episodes on Hulu. Season 2 has 4.
Season 1 is pretty good. There's a lot of characters in it. Season 2 is okay so far. It's just taken a while to build up. They've got like I mean, they really purposely do like some really extremes. Like they've got a guy who's like a professor who's like all about like prison reform. And then obviously he's probably going to learn how not easy it is. How like being just a vocal social justice warrior is like one thing and this is a whole other thing. Maybe. That's maybe a lesson I think he might learn. I don't know.
Or he might turn it all around.
But you said it was on Hulu?
Yes.
Is it really? That's awesome.
Yes. Yes, it is.
But that's all I've been watching. I'm also playing My Time at Sandrock, which is a sequel to My Time at Portia. It's on Game Pass right now. And if you like farm sims that are really wholesome, that involve a lot of building, you'll like this.
I've been playing Sea of Thieves and SpongeBob's Battle for Bikini Bottom.
That's a great game.
I've been struggling to find a new game to get into.
If you like platformer.
All right.
This story's not bad either.
There's a lot of good collect your dopamine.
I gotta figure out where to find all these stupid socks.
We don't talk about it near as much as we used to, but have you seen that the new season of AGT did start?
I did see that.
Yes. I think I've seen a couple performances.
Yeah, they're like 3 episodes in. There's been some pretty good performances so far. Yeah.
Should I be watching it?
I mean, it's AGT. I mean, you're gonna see.
It's not gonna have its own weekly segment though.
No, I maybe when it gets to the live performances. This year they're doing something dumber than they normally do, and like each judge gets 2 golden buzzers. So, like, I don't know. Like, the problem is that without judge cuts, like they just kind of like they say yes to like a lot of things. And then we don't know why that like they don't actually get a yes. Like, I mean, unless you get a golden buzzer, like you're getting a yes doesn't mean you're actually getting a shot.
Yeah.
So I wish they would bring judge cuts back because otherwise, like, there's going to be 8 golden buzzers, possibly 10 with Terry. We haven't determined if Terry gets 2 golden buzzers yet.
Possibly 11 if they all agree on one again.
Right, if they do the group golden buzzer, which, if they decide that, everybody gets 2 there, so it maybe could be 12. So, like, I mean, basically, like, that's one whole episode of live performances of people who are going to get golden buzzers.
Right.
I haven't said anything about it because it's weird, but I just finished it today. I was recommended this podcast back when I was down in Atlanta. It's kind of a weird podcast, so it's going to take a bit of a setup to talk about. But the name of the podcast is My Dad Wrote a Porno.
I told you guys about that like 3 years ago.
Did you?
I did.
Okay, I don't remember.
Bizarre.
It is bizarre.
And you can't listen to it at work because you'll find yourself laughing like a dummy.
Yes, it is. It's kind of dirty. I mean, it is called My Dad Wrote a Porno. Jeremy, do you remember this conversation that Justin had with us?
Not exactly.
No, neither did I, because I remember the group of people who told me about it when I was not living in Atlanta, when I was down in Atlanta for the game show.
Yeah, I was on third at the time, so it's probably 2 years. 2, 3 years ago. I told you guys to listen to that.
So this one British guy, his dad retired, got bored, and decided to write erotica, and not well. Not that any erotica ever gets written well, but this is particularly bad. And for whatever reason, decided to share it with his son, and his son is in the entertainment industry somehow in England. So like him and his two friends were kind of vaguely famous already. And they decided they were going to read it to each other and just kind of make fun of it, like MST3K it. And it's oddly addicting. They did 6 books, and then the 7th was just like 2 or 3 chapters to kind of wrap up the story.
Yeah. I never finished it.
It's like 100 episodes there, I think each book is like 13 chapters, 14 chapters. But then they started like a footnote. So they did like the chapter episode where they just read the book and made fun of how bad they wrote, his dad wrote the book. And then the footnotes was like Elijah Wood, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Martin Sheen, Emma Thompson, like all these ridiculously famous people who listened to the podcast and thought it was hilarious, like talking about how I can't really get into details on some of the on some of the more interesting parts because I know that we talk about some pretty outrageous stuff, but man, they go way further than we do. But so it's Jamie Morton, his dad wrote it. Alice Levine and James Cooper, and so they'll make some sort of comment about
isn't his name Rocky Flintstone?
Yeah, his dad named himself Rocky Flintstone because he was trying to keep his anonymity.
That's his pen name,
which I always thought was weird because the one guy goes by his actual name, Jamie Morton, so we kind of at least know what his dad's last name is. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, there are certain things that when they describe the female anatomy where the Alice is like, that's not how that works. Like that's like just certain tropes of porn that you're just like, it's, I don't know. It's funny. It is absolutely hilarious. It's a riot because you just have 3 people taking the piss out of this ridiculously weird writing. And it's not sexy. For being a porn
at all.
At no point was I ever like, oh yeah, this is it wasn't me looking at a Death Star. It was
not much can compare to that.
So there was never a part of me going, all right, say it slower, say it slower. Oh, this is good.
No, it's you start just laughing out loud.
And
you look like an idiot.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was funny, and I just hit the last episode today while I was mowing the lawn. It's worth a listen if you have some alone time, or some very understanding partners that you listen to podcast with, because it gets a little rougher than we do, and that's what's just saying something because we get kind of rough sometimes. So. Anyway, I just thought I'd maybe recommend that. Cautiously recommend it. It is British. It's very British. There's definitely been times where I had to Google what they were saying because I was like, what?
What is this action?
What is there? One of the things was they went to something called the Tombola, and they just kept saying it. I'm like, what? So I had to Google Tombola, and it was basically their word for carnival. We'd probably call it it sounded kind of like the state fair kind of thing.
Oh, it's a county fair.
Yeah, county fair. So that's what I got.
All right.
Anybody want to plug anything or recommend anything or?
Nah.
Yeah, no. Go listen to my latest episode. I wrote an essay, poured my heart and soul out talking about school.
That is true. You did.
So go listen to it. And yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well then, if you're about to write a comment telling us how stupid we are for voting for, I don't know, the Batmobile over Baby, just remember, stupid never walks alone.
Comic books have been around for almost a century, and in the last 2 decades, we've finally gotten to see many of these characters brought to life in movies and on TV. On the Moving Panels podcast, we discuss movies and TV shows based on, inspired by, and adapted from the world of comic books. Join me and my guests as we discuss both the good and the bad from Marvel, DC, and even some of the lesser-known comic book companies. Learn what is and isn't from the comics, as well as our nerdy review of the movie or show. New episodes drop every Monday, and you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. So join us for Moving Panels, and I'll see you on the other side of the page.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and listen to an 80s Flick Flashback podcast once in a while, you could miss it. Do you love movies of a certain age? Do you miss the days of VHS tapes, VCRs, and the video rental stores? Does the thought of another 80s movie being remade seem inconceivable? My name is Tim Williams. I'm the creator and host of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. On each episode, I'm joined by guest co-hosts to discuss one of the many movies released in the 1980s. We share our first-time watch memories, our favorite scenes, and even learn some behind-the-scenes stories about the cast and crew along the way. New episodes are released every other Friday on your favorite podcasting platform. So make like a tree, get out of here, and go listen to an excellent episode of the 80s Flick Flashback podcast. The ad is over. Go home. Go.